the heart of a thriving Viking village, under a canopy of stars, Hrolf and his band of berserkers returned from their latest conquest. The air was thick with the scent of victory laughter, and songs echoed through the night, celebrating their prowess in battle. They clapped each other on the back, sharing tales of bravery around the flickering bonfire. Shadows danced across their faces. An unexpected presence interrupted the revelry. A woman emerged from the darkness, a striking sorceress named Gullveig, captivating them with her ethereal charm. Her long hair flowed like liquid gold, shimmering even in the dim light. Surrounded her name, she was known for dark magic and untold power. The berserkers fell silent, drawn to her enchanting aura. Tales of glory spilled forth from her lips, promises of strength beyond imagination, if they dared to delve into the depth of her magical practices. It felt as if she held a treasure map, leading to unimaginable riches waiting just for them. Rady stood at Hrolf's side, brow furrowed in suspicion. There was something unsettling about Gullveig's arrival, the way she commanded attention, without uttering threats or wielding weapons. He had always relied on raw strength and valor. This new allure felt foreign to Freydis, who understood too well that temptation could cloud judgment. Outflickered within Freydis' heart, Bjorn's eyes gleamed with eagerness. He leaned closer to Gullveig, enthralled by what he heard, a siren's song promising power that only magic could bestow upon those bold enough to reach for it. His mind swirled with visions of unmatched ferocity in battle, and accolades won through sheer might. Eirik, elder and sage among them, stepped forward cautiously. He warned them about ancient tales surrounding dark magic, how many warriors had been led astray by its seductive whispers, only to find themselves ensnared in chaos or despair. Yet his voice wavered against the rising tide of enthusiasm around him. The berserkers dismissed Eirik's concerns, intoxicated by dreams spun by Gullveig's words. The celebration continued late into the night, while Hrolf remained caught between two worlds, the excitement brewing among his warriors versus his instinctive wariness toward this enchanting newcomer. Dawn broke over their village. Hrolf found himself unable to sleep after hours filled with feasting, and revelry thoughts swirled through his mind like mist rolling over hills at sunrise. He gazed into the distance, where Gullveig had lingered near the fire moments before her figure, now lost among fading shadows. That moment, he realized something profound. This night marked not merely another raid won, but perhaps heralded a darker path ahead, one shaped by gullibility towards power that may come at an unspeakable cost. Over time, Gullveig began teaching select members of the Berserker clan powerful spells and rituals, enhancing their abilities during battles. Hrolf noticed an increase in aggression and bloodlust among his warriors. They were becoming more reckless due to heightened emotions spurred by her magic. Freydis confronted Hrolf about these changes, but was dismissed as being jealous toward Gullveig's influence. Watched from afar as darkness crept into these once noble warriors' hearts. With newfound powers bestowed upon them by Gullveig, the berserkers set out on an ambitious raid against a neighboring village, seeking riches, but leaving devastation behind them. During this raid, Freydis witnessed acts of brutality from Bjorn and other berserkers under Gullveig's sway. She vowed to uncover how deep Gullveig's manipulation ran before it destroyed everything they stood for. Eirik tried gathering support among villagers against Gullveig, but faced resistance because many were drawn to her promises of strength and abundance. Sensed a storm brewing. If left unchecked, this chaos could bring doom not only to the berserkers, but also all who dwelled in Asgard. Tensions reached a breaking point when Freydis confronted Hrolf directly during another chaotic raid. She declared that they must cast out Gullveig before it consumed them entirely. In response to Freydis' challenge, Hrolf faced inner turmoil. His admiration for both power and loyalty toward Gullveig clashed with love for his people and traditions. Epic confrontation ensued between those loyal to Gullveig versus those seeking redemption alliances, shifted amidst clashing swords and spells ignited by rage-fueled magic. A climactic moment, infused with desperation and courage, intervened subtly as a guardian spirit ensuring some escape, or find clarity amidst madness while exposing Gullveig's true nature as manipulative sorcery led to betrayal within their ranks, all leading back toward an understanding. Between strength and honor in battle, the days turned into weeks. The village began to feel the profound effects of Gullveig's teachings. Once celebrated berserkers, known for their bravery and honor, were changing in ways that made Hrolf's heart heavy. Every battle they fought became increasingly ferocious, fueled by a thirst for power that seeped into their very souls through her dark magic. Gullveig had woven herself into the fabric of their clan, teaching spells that enhanced strength and instilling rituals meant to invoke fear in their enemies. Each day, she carefully selected those who showed promise, those willing to forsake restraint for sheer might. Bjorn was among these eager pupils, his eyes shining with reckless desire as he trained under her watchful gaze. Rades felt everything slipping away. He observed Hrolf growing distant, lost in admiration for Gullveig's talents, while ignoring her warnings about the shadows lurking behind such temptations. Confrontation became inevitable. Rades could no longer hold back her worries. As dusk settled over them, she approached Hrolf after another grueling training session. He spoke softly yet firmly about the changes. She sensed the heightened aggression and bloodlust, overtaking their comrades like a sickness spreading unchecked. Hrolf dismissed her concerns sharply, accusing her of jealousy towards Gullveig's gifts. Stung by his lack of understanding, Rades stepped back, torn between loyalty to Hrolf and an unwavering commitment to saving the soul of their clan. Beknownst to them both, Sigrun observed from afar a silent guardian witnessing this transformation unfold before her eyes. Unsettling chill filled the air. Darkness crept ever closer around those who once stood proud and true. Whispers of impending chaos echoed within Sigrun's thoughts, like ominous tales long buried beneath time. Days transformed into nights steeped in tension, as battles continued amidst growing unrest within the ranks of berserkers. Each victory came at a cost. Brutality stained their hands, while mercy faded away, replaced by relentless hunger for glory. Fateful dawn followed a particularly savage encounter against rival tribesmen, seeking revenge upon learning of the berserkers' excesses. Rades found herself on edge again as she wandered toward familiar training grounds, where laughter had flourished among warriors now consumed by rage. He stumbled upon Bjorn standing alone beneath an ancient oak tree. His fists clenched tight as if wrestling unseen demons, while memories flickered within his mind, remnants of brotherhood, lost amid dark enchantments coursing through his veins. Rades took a tentative step forward, but hesitated at seeing him so engrossed in turmoil. She sensed Gullveig's malevolent presence lingering nearby, even without sighting her witch-like form lurking in shadows. A gentle voice laden with concern, Rades addressed Bjorn, softly despite uncertainty wrapping around her words, tightly like vines choking life from flowers struggling to bloom again. He looked up slowly, guilt flashed across his features, before being masked beneath bravado once more, a facade too fragile against truths hidden within his heart, a heart yearning for redemption, yet shackled tightly by greed's alluring. Chains forged from dark sorcery. After silence stretched thin between them like threads waiting to snap under pressure, he finally murmured about things seen, actions taken that should never have been done. Ignited deep inside Rades a spark igniting hope. Despite looming dread swirling around them both, perhaps it wasn't too late yet. Together, they would seek answers intertwined with fate's delicate strands woven into legends, speaking warnings unheard throughout ages past. As night fell over the village, cloaked in darkness, shrouding its inhabitants unaware of impending doom creeping closer, still a storm brewed on the horizon, readying itself for chaos unleashed. In the midst of chaos, air crackled with tension, like the embers of a dying fire. Rades stood firm, her heart pounding as she faced Hrolf. Around them, the Berserkers raged in combat. Fierce roars echoed through the night as steel clashed against steel. Station wrought upon their enemies was a mere shadow of what lay within their own clan, and Freydis felt an urgency swell inside her. Hrolf's brow furrowed deeply, caught between loyalty to his warriors and concern for their very souls. He watched as Bjorn led the charge, his once noble spirit twisted by Gullveig's dark influence. The sight of his friend, who had once been filled with honor and bravery, now driven solely by bloodlust, sickened Hrolf. Yet there was a part of him that whispered promises of power, of being feared, rather than merely respected. Freydis took a step closer to Hrolf. Her voice was firm yet laced with desperation, urged him to see the truth before it consumed them entirely. A warmth in her eyes contrasted sharply with the icy grip of dread settling around them. He spoke passionately about the values they had fought for, the strength that came not from magic, but from camaraderie and honor. Battle surged on behind them as spells cast by those loyal to Gullveig lit up the night sky in flickering bursts of color darkness, battling against flashes of defiance from those who still held on to their sense of duty. Hrolf felt torn anger stirred within him at Freydis' challenge, while fear gnawed at his core when he imagined what would happen if he continued down this path. If sensing his hesitation, Sigrun hovered nearby, not seen, but deeply felt a guardian spirit observing closely as alliances began shifting like sand beneath their feet. With each clash of swords and shouts echoing across the battlefield, she understood this struggle mirrored something greater than any one warrior's choice. It spoke to an entire culture threatened by temptation and ambition. Midst bloodshed and chaos, Hrolf wrestled with visions swirling in his mind of glory, earned through hard-fought battles, versus easy victories promised by Gullveig's seductive magic. That moment, clarity pierced through confusion, a spark igniting courage deep within him. With newfound determination blooming like spring flowers breaking free from winter's frost, he shouted over the din for silence, amidst strife for both sides to hear him out. His voice trembled only slightly as he called for a council, a chance to come together rather than continue tearing apart. A clangor slowly subsided into wary murmurs. Warriors paused mid-strike, their eyes shifted toward Hrolf, who stood resolute before them all. Freydis watched closely. She sensed hope flicker anew in her leader's heart, while anxious tension lingered just below the surface. Observed silently from above, she could feel change unfurling like wings readying for flight amid clouds heavy with rain. Transformation lay ahead should they seize this opportunity wisely, rather than succumb further into madness. Rafted by darker forces, discussions began swirling among friends turned foes. The lines defining loyalty blurred. Hrolf seized hold of this fleeting moment, holding every warrior accountable for choices made thus far. Choosing vengeance or redemption would chart their future paths forward together, or lead them deeper into despair alone. So they gathered, hearts laid bare under trembling skies pregnant with uncertainty, but also possibility. A reckoning awaited all who dared listen, to remember what truly mattered beyond mere strength, manifested through magic alone, but instead forged in unity, born from shared histories written long ago over countless fires throughout time itself, as the sun set over the village, casting long shadows across the earth. Tensions reached a breaking point. The air crackled with anticipation and fear. Freydis knew that something had to change. He observed Hrolf, once a noble leader among the Berserkers, now transformed by Gullveig's intoxicating influence. He stood among his warriors, rallying them with promises of glory and strength, while something darker lurked within their eyes. Freydis felt a heaviness in her heart as she approached him. He could see how the fire in their gazes was fueled not just by ambition, but also by an unsettling hunger for power that surged through them like a storm. Steeling herself, she stepped into the throng of Berserkers, determined to confront Hrolf before it was too late. With urgency in her voice, Freydis expressed her concerns about their reckless brutality and the changes she had witnessed since Gullveig's arrival. He implored Hrolf to see reason that they needed to cast out Gullveig before her magic consumed them entirely. Hrolf's expression shifted between anger and confusion as he wrestled with his loyalty to his people against his fascination with Gullveig's powers. Rades reminded him of their shared history, the honor forged through battle, not through dark sorcery. As conflict brewed around them, an epic confrontation ensued. Swords clashed and spells ignited as those loyal to Gullveig surged forward against those seeking redemption. This chaotic dance of battle, alliances shifted rapidly, friends became foes under the weight of betrayal, while courage flickered like embers ready to ignite anew. Amongst this turmoil loomed Sigrun, the Valkyrie guardian, observing from afar, her spirit resonating with empathy for both sides, caught in an endless cycle of desire, tainted by greed and manipulation. Each clash of metal echoed with desperation as former comrades fell beside one another, transformed into enemies by Gullveig's insidious influence. Rades pushed through the madness toward Hrolf, a beacon guiding lost souls seeking clarity amidst despair. A climactic moment, charged with emotion, grasped his arm firmly, yet gently, her eyes blazing fiercely with determination, while silently pleading for understanding between strength born from honor rather than mere power drawn from darkness. Since this pivotal juncture, a chance for redemption hung delicately within reach, if they dared grasp it tightly enough, without letting go again this time. Suddenly charged by newfound resolve rising deep within him, like dawn illuminating shadowy horizons unfurling across Asgard itself, Hrolf turned toward those still willing to listen, yearning desperately for clarity amid frayed loyalties torn apart by deceit woven into fabric, binding their fates together eternally. This hour, when lines blurred between friend or foe alike dancing dangerously close towards annihilation, all would become clear. True strength lay not solely upon skillful strikes nor powerful incantations, but ultimately rested instead upon unity formed through respect, earned amongst one another, despite tempests attempting separation amongst them forevermore. Good spark ignited within weary hearts a flicker of hope, battling against despair that threatened to engulf them all. Recognized that each victory came at a cost, brutality stained their hands, while mercy faded away in exchange for relentless hunger for glory. So Sigrun wove herself quietly throughout these moments, unfolding delicately, ensuring some might escape unscathed, while others could find peace shining brightly, even against terrifying odds ushered forth, without hesitation remaining. Vigilant, always observing carefully, every nuance shaping destiny, unfolding right before her watchful gaze. This reckoning marked merely beginning anew, where foundations shaken could rise stronger than ever, rooted deeply intertwined, based purely upon truths spoken aloud, finally transforming lives, forever changed, moving forward towards brighter morrows, waiting patiently, beckoning adventurers, daring venture forth along paths winding endlessly, onward threading hope through shadows, illuminated once more alongside dawning light, spilling golden rays across horizons stretching endlessly before them, all inviting journeys yet taken. Thus concluded not only a tale wrought from strife, but also an invitation extended, gently calling forth brave souls searching relentlessly after greater purpose, fulfilled amidst challenges faced along their path, forging legacies intertwined, connecting lives forevermore.